Díomh Gaeilge, Constantá sibh. Um, this video is to announce that the app I've been working on will be going into a testing beta. And if you're interested, you can sign up here. There's no obligation. Just sign up. You get, you know, contact by email in a week or two to access to the app. You have the choice of iOS, Android, or even just web. And yeah, there's no obligation. But if you were interested, just plenty of opportunities to give feedback, request changes, and really like take ownership of this so we can build out an app to learn Irish by Irish language learners rather than people not familiar with the language. Um, I think it's really important to build an app for the language rather than building an app to serve all languages, as the Unpulchaban does, the mainstream apps. It's like built for all languages. And I think that supporting of everything waters down the experience. The whole point of this app is to get away from advertisements, gamification, grind mechanics, you know, content that's created on day one, not changed for 5 years. I want to have a dynamic content that changes and responds to people's needs and wants from the community. That you have access to this stuff no matter what you do. It's available offline. You don't need to be spending a fortune to access the app to learn the language. And the way I've approached this is for progression, you have your garden, and then in your garden, you plant your trees. And then as you exercise and use this language, you grow your garden, you grow your trees, you know, it's a healthy, positive growth, right? So the way this works is anybody can create a lesson. Currently, it's very much tailored towards verbs and the tenses, but before this goes into testing, I will be changing this to be more generic because this could be ordering a coffee or going shopping or something, and then prompt in the learner's language, which for us is English, and then the response. So this is what the computer will accept as an answer, right? And I'll show how this works because it's just sentences to create, which are really cheap and easy to make. But the app then will generate the exercises from these, and I'll show you that in a second. When you create lessons, you can come in here and pick one. I will be shipping this with the 11 irregular verbs and probably 4 regular verb examples, the different conjugations and broad and slender and stuff. And then following that, maybe the idea of like common interactions, ordering a coffee, going shopping, day at the beach, this type of stuff. And I kind of can experiment and see what works. I've been using this myself for a few weeks now, different forms. This is the fourth implementation, and this really works for me. But that could just be because it only works for me, right? So I'm really curious if it has the same impact to other people. This is the exercise screen. It's generated from the sentence pairs. We have here our prompt. So this is to translate. We could change this to something else like, I don't know, question response or something. The sentence we put in Gaeilge shows up here, or the answer basically, without the letters, but the little hangman style stuff, so you can kind of get a sense of what it'll look like. As I'm speaking, realize I need to accentuate the gaps because it's not obvious. But you can have a listen. This is a text to speech engine, but you can put in any audio you might have, which could be an interesting exercise where you take actual audio and do the sentences. And then we go word by word. This word goes in here. So I think even with only English, you could guess it begins with D. And then the second letter you might guess even with just English. E, not quite. It's not totally wrong, but it's not quite. It's missing its fada. And this way you learn the language sentence, word by word. So in this case, there's 10 sentences to go through. If you do that 5 times, 10 times, You come in, you see the prompt, your brain stretches to form the Irish. Um, Maybe you might get the first word, second word, you might get stuck. Then rather than Google translating it and instantly forgetting, you work at the word, go letter by letter, try to send it out, hear it spoken, try to convert the sounds you hear in the Fumina into the letters. Um, Depending on your exposure to Irish, you might be good at this, you might be totally terrible at it, you might have no idea how to where H's go or why there's a G there or all the other kind of mutations. But um, doing this, you would build up the patterns. You start to see, and even if your first guess is totally wrong, um, guessing, even if you guess all of them, you're still going to build it up rather than just seeing the word translate in Google Translate and instantly forgetting. This is based off of methods proposed by uh, kind of the whole shadowing and scriptorium approach. Scriptorium basically was you take a book and you write it, and writing it letter by letter forces you to focus on the details to remember the language. Um, I kind of took that as the core and then brought it forward because I want to see it, to try and type it. I want to hear the word, and not for this test, but later on, I will be adding in the ability to practice speaking. This might be self-regulated, where you listen back to your recording until you get it right. But the idea is to type, to hear, to speak. So you write. So composition, um, comprehension. You need to exercise, all generated from basic sentence pairs, so that content can be created easily. My biggest complaint about the likes of Untouchable is that going through it, it just seemed like it was random, the content. And this might not be true, but for me, I wished it was more structured, that I could kind of be confident that in the year or two, or however long it takes to finish the course, I finished it twice now actually, that I'm covering the core of the language. Like, obviously, you can't cover every single verb and every single aspect of the language, but to have the core, the 11 irregular verbs covered, that you just know them instinctively, maybe the top 100 regular verbs, maybe the top 1,000 or 2,000 words, and the basic patterns and stuff, so that when you're reading and you're doing the input focused learning, that you're not just looking at the words, you're actually seeing the patterns and how the grammar is going, and you're getting more out of it. Um, but that's just my approach. I'm up to hearing other people's ideas and stuff, and I'm happy to implement. So basically, yeah, we finish the word, ding, ding, and it moves into place, and then we can just keep doing this. And then, as you can imagine, when we finish this sentence, we get another one, and so on and so forth. And then when we finish the whole stage, the tree grows a bit more. So go back in, you can go again. You can see it's going to keep growing until eventually it's mature, strong, like your knowledge of the language. Yeah, that's it. So if you are interested, please sign up here if you have any ideas, thoughts, approaches, ideas for interfaces. This is just one interface I have. I mean, this could be done so many different ways. Like, this could be genuine hangman, when each time you press a letter, it just discovers them here, which could be quite fun. It could be anything at all. I also like the idea of attaching PDFs or links to videos or other content. So maybe this might represent the lesson as a PDF that you might read through, every day, come into the lesson, test your knowledge through the 10 sentences and build it up. But if you can imagine, if you've done this 10 times and you've typed it out on your phone 10 times, I mean, you can kind of take for granted that you can use this verb effectively without too much brain power, right? And then when you have the core of the language down and you're reading a book and you know 60-70% of the language, because that's the core of it, the irregular verbs and stuff, the more complicated stuff becomes easier. The biggest complaint I've heard about learning Irish is not knowing where to start, and that's what I'm kind of hoping to get with this is that it just provides a clearer path that you can like consistently grow your garden, and it's not like a Duolingo thing, said the word, um, where you like trying to complete stuff. Where this is more like um, you should be happy with each tree you plant and grow, and then the idea is that this isn't just something that you learn and aren't done, but it's a lifelong journey, right? You're just constantly adding to it, and you'll always have a garden that you can add to and grow and stuff. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you see it, life is complicated. So you might find with your Irish learning that some months you're doing a lot, and then maybe for weeks or months you do nothing at all because life gets in the way, and then you come back to it, and that's completely normal. And the idea of this interface is that you can build up your language. Sinead, that's it. Please let me know. Please come to sionnach.app and sign up. And if you do, I look forward to working together and building something we can all be proud of. Thank you so much. Mila Bukas, agus Slán Liv.